Oh, hello and welcome, and welcome and hello. Thank you for stopping by. It is Un Poco Mas, the show where we give you just a little bit more. Today is October 20th, 2023. It's 3:42 p.m. on October time. Check out here in beautiful, summery, sunny Los Angeles, California today. Hope it is a beautiful afternoon or evening wherever you find yourself. Guys, we wrapped up a very sort of tough sideways and down week of trading on the SoFi stock. Overall market absolutely got hammered. Let's take a little look see at what the SoFi stock. First off, what do the overall markets do on the day? Nasdaq hammered for 200 points. Dow down 1%, S&P down a little over 1%. Powell out there, Fed Powell talking about more rate hikes being necessary. Of course, Fed Mester out there talking about one more rate hike being appropriate. Tesla dragging down not only EV, tech, overall market. Everybody was a little bit hopeful a few days ago when some of the banks turned in better than expected earnings, but the big banks are vultures. They don't treat their customers very well in terms of the type of deal they give them. They just give the customers no interest and as many fees and the highest rates they possibly can get away with, sort of under the letter of the law. I mean, that's changing a bit because there are options out there. It's not just the credit unions and the regional banks and the sort of small town banks. There's options like SoFi, like Ally, like Discover. Even I was seeing American Express has a checking product and they pay, a high interest rate. A lot of these credit card companies, I think, Discover, American Express, that have these banking products are just not credible competition for SoFi, but that's just my opinion. I think SoFi's growth bears that out, guys. We have 1 week coming in until the earnings report. Q3, I'd love to hear what you guys think is going to happen. I think I have proven that I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen. But, guys, I'm not, as much as I'm a SoFi bull and I come across and I just say, every single day the stock's going to go up. Um, I do know that the overall market getting crushed, everything is down, growth stocks are down, tech is down, EV is down, like everything's down. The only thing that I saw was up was like Bitcoin and Teladoc and Dogecoin. I mean, God, I wish I had everything in Doge. Boy, I'd be a genius. Is anybody watching? There are 14 people. Hello, hello, and welcome, welcome, and hello. Thanks for tuning into Poco Mas. It's Danny Deals here. What a draining week. Stocks, DAX is due on Monday. Just clean my clock. Stocks going down. Whether it's my genius penny stock portfolio, the only thing that held me up is like I really like some of the big names, Google, Microsoft. I got kind of hammered on my Tesla holdings, but I kind of knew that was coming. But I still like these stocks. But SoFi was just destroyed. Affirm was nailed today. Not just Tesla, but a bunch of other stocks. All the ARCs were down. All the Chinese EV stocks were down. So everything was getting hammered. This was a very, very typical algo rich day. This is a mountain and hump pattern, guys. I've been talking about this for God, a year or more, maybe not here, but just on street corners or at bus stops, I corner people and talk to them about SoFi daily chart patterns, and boy, they generally are fascinated and just say, tell me more, you fat stranger. I want to. I think they think I'm crazy, but it's hard to tell, guys. But looking at the options for next week and after earnings, it's not really clear that um the market is not expecting a huge move one way or the other. I'd just say that it looks like there's of course the prerequisite stupid calls for next Friday that allow the market makers to sort of manipulate retail investors in a lot of different ways, but This is where this is the channel I've had up here for a while now. I haven't, moved it at all. And I noted incorrectly the other day that SoFi tends to double bottom and then bounce. And it looked like we were going to see that and then again rejected for the second time in a row from the 50-day moving average and moving sharply down. It did try to recover here on the 17th and retested the 50-day moving average, but again was rejected. So these are this here place on September 1st. This was a little bounce off the 50-day, but the last two times the stock has really pushed and tried for days to push on that 50-day moving average and has been, soundly rejected. So, that's not good. But the only positive thing I could say is that the stock is still in the channel. The stock is still above, where it made a bottom here on October 4th. So there's nothing really to panic about right now. If you look at the price action on the day, the thing was shorted. They've been shorting the bejesus out of it, guys. I mean, the borrowed change today was 1.71 million more shares borrowed than returned. And even though there was a fair amount of volume today, guys, at 27 million, I mean, that's what, yeah, I don't know, 7% of the shares is net borrow. So, I mean, that's enough to account for this entire drop for the most part. I mean, it's just putting a lot of selling pressure on the stock, but cost to borrow is low, so there's enough people just dumping the stock. There's not much buying pressure. I mean, look at the overall market, look at the fear, look at the geopolitical, look at the macro, look at the inflation. Look at me, look at these worries, look at these wrinkles. I'm rubbing my eyes so much for taxes. I'm like, some weird thing on my eyebrow. It's ridiculous. Um, so is anybody watching? What the hell are you guys doing? Besides that, guys, I could, I wanted to just hear from you guys. Are you planning to sort of hedge? Are you planning, did you dump some shares there? Were you smart? Dump some shares in the eights, buyback after the attack? What are you guys expecting as far as the Q3 ER? I think they've tempered expectations, but I just get this sense Noto is a lot more tricky and he's not as straightforward and robotic as he comes across. And the same way the bears and the shorts have been really making money from this stock. They've been making money as it goes up too, but the way the market makers have just made a lot of money from volatility. And you know, if retail traders are honest and they add up what's happened on the SoFi stock and you're not buying and holding long term and you're not buying, most retails are, most retarders are on the wrong end of the trade and market makers and, big, hedge funds and such, they usually don't lose money. They're not in the business of losing money. Um, and retail traders trading in and out of this thing emotionally. I mean, that's why people are always so angry on these bulletin boards. Like, well, they're fucking manipulation, manipulation. It's like the manipulation only affects you if you let it affect you. If you buy, um, if you if you sell the dip and smell the rip, if you continuously buy the FOMO and then panic sell, this is a great time to panic sell, guys. This is a great time for them to short, and they think they can push it down even further after the ER. Um, I think this ER is going to show a massive deposit growth, even bigger than last time. Like we haven't had a huge uptick in unemployment. The SoFi customer is generally not losing their jobs. They're not getting their pay cut. They're not getting their hours cut. The SoFi customer is largely direct depositing their large salary into their SoFi account. And with the membership growing a huge amount in Q2 and deposits growing a huge amount in Q2, I'm trying to figure out what the bears and the shorts, what their thesis on is why these deposits are going to decelerate. I guess people need to pay more of the debt off. People have a greater interest expense across the board, so they're not able to save as much. I mean, that seems like the obvious thing, but I still think a lot of money is flowing into these checking accounts, and I think a lot of the people with these high credit scores that are the core, the good SoFi customers, the customers that we really want, are just not in financial trouble at this time. I mean, that the inflation is really hitting the people at the sort of mid lower end of the socioeconomic spectrum who aren't getting like public assistance. They're not seeing, their food assistance go up. They're not seeing these things, but they're paying through the nose, for gas. Like I just filled up my dear Princess J's car with gas, and it was like $6.05 a gallon for regular. I'm like, she doesn't even have a big car. It's like $100 to fill the thing up. So, thank God I can afford it. We can afford it, but it's like if you're somebody working out there for 20, $25 an hour, it's like you are absolutely getting crushed. But I mean, that affects, the headlines, that affects real people, but does it affect SoFi's growth? Does it affect SoFi's bottom line? Not so far, but, this is more sustained. These interests. Remember, Anthony Noto and the SoFi people were saying they thought by the end of 2024, we'd actually be seeing an interest rate cut. So, a lot of people really underestimated how sticky the inflation number is. Everybody talks about inflation being sticky. Um, it's one of those buzzwords the media gets their hands on, and it was like in football when for a while all the announcers were saying shot play. Like whenever was a long pass, they'd all go shot play, and everyone started doing it, and then they all just they just stopped doing it. So I don't know. I don't know what the fuck's happening, but let me see who is here, who is commenting. If you guys have anything even halfway coherent or interesting to say, I highly doubt it, but it's worth my time because I don't have anything to say either. So let's see what you guys have. Jolanda Sherman, hello. Thank you for the wave emoji. Let's go. Hello and welcome. Welcome and hello. What's up, not a lurker? Um, what's up, dude ass face? Um, uh, Manny's weight loss. Hello from Chicago. Welcome back, Manny. Good to see you again. It's time. Good time to buy. I agree with you. I mean, man, they really look at anytime you have these big price dips. Exact same thing happened last time. I looked at that drop from $8.50 down to I mean, I could show you on the chart, but who cares, right? But if you look at the where was that? Like I don't know, but if you look at the drop over here, they shorted it, and then the short goes down, it goes back up, and then they short the bejesus out of it again. So it's like what they're doing is they're just taking advantage of all the FUD that is real in the world, in the market, with the interest rates, and then they just hammer the SoFi stock. I don't think it's because they think there's going to be a horrible ER or the growth story is going to fall apart. That's another thing I kind of wanted to just like touch on is this notion that the SoFi growth story, I don't know, they still don't have Q1 or Q2 up on Yahoo, but in any case, I could pull it up somewhere else. But the notion that the growth story like is just falling apart is just not true, guys. I mean, I can go over any of these metrics from any of the divisions, like financial services, revenue, total revenues. It's just it's an absolutely incredible growth story, a turnaround. I wouldn't call it a turnaround story, but just a survival story. Like, how did this company survive and thrive and grow through the COVID pandemic and the student loan moratorium when this was a student loan company? I mean, I don't know if I believe in fate, but I feel like Anthony Noto had a career that had ups and downs and all arounds, and it came full circle. And he came back to SoFi at just the right time. He was the right person for the right challenge. He's willing to make, extremely bold decisions. Other growth stories like, Affirm or even Palantir, like people always hype Palantir getting these contracts and stuff, and I think Palantir's a good company. I think their CEO, I think he really is a genius. I think they're incredible, and I think they will have their day. But if you look at SoFi growing the top line at 30%, I mean, if you look at any metric in their growth, it's hard to show me a company that has grown more consistently and faster, that has such a low valuation placed on their growth. If you look at companies like CrowdStrike or Palantir, um, CrowdStrike has very similar growth rate to SoFi, and their price just completely off the charts. I know their margins are going to be higher because it's a software business, it's internet security. They're not competing with other banks. I do understand parts of their business, but they're still a very small company, guys, and they have these massive, massive valuations. And SoFi just gets, treated like the redheaded stepchild of the stock market. They're like, well, we're going to value you as a bank, but we're not going to give you, anything. And they scoff at the deposit growth. They're like, well, they just started. They're coming from zero, and it's like they're going to have 20 billion in deposits before people know it. And deposits allow profits. It allows company with a banking charter, a full-fledged bank, to lend out money with a lower cost of capital, and that just directly contributes to the net interest income, and it directly contributes to the bottom line profitability of the company. I just don't see what the big knock is. So um that's why I'm trying to figure out, guys, what are they going to hit us with? Because I know they're going to hit us over the head with something, whether it's a mace or a hammer or a baseball bat. It's going to be something. But if we know what it is, at least we can prepare an appropriate ice pack or first aid kit or bag of frozen peas. Everybody in the TV show, they always get those frozen veggies. If they get a shiner, maybe they get a steak. Like in the old days, like a show like Married with Children, or like, you know, Matlock or something. They just put the steak right on your face, like salmonella, trichinosis, all that shit be damned. It's got to get that swelling down. Just put some raw meat right on your face. And have you guys seen the price of beef? Get that kid an ice pack in a plastic bag. I'm going to fry up that steak with some onions. I'm going to eat that bad boy. Let that eye swell up. Teach that kid a lesson. We're not throwing away good choice meats. Not this economy. Not with this sticky inflation. Guys, inflation is sticky. You can't be using meats for a first aid kit. Get you one of those instant ice packs. A lot cheaper per pound. Don't even get me into that grass-fed stuff at Whole Foods. $40 a pound. What do I have, a money tree at home? Bezos. I thought you were going to bring prices down when Amazon bought Whole Foods. Not seeing it with that grass fed beef, you turd. You bald turd. You're running around with Lauren Sanchez and her kids. You got a fucking 500-foot sailing yacht, and you still need, $40 a pound from me? Got grass fed beef? Fuck you, buddy. Fuck you. Who do we got here? Boredom, New Banksville. Oh, don't even. Well, but I mean, Bart, New Bank does have. I mean, look at their customer. Go back to Future Investing. Tanner did a video on New Bank, and their customer acquisition costs and how much they're making off each of those customers is pretty extraordinary. So I would say they do deserve a valuation that is, more rich than SoFi, but SoFi is just way too down. I mean, everybody's already, written the obituary for Galileo. I don't buy that. Like, somebody was keeping me honest over there. He's like, listen, buddy, this is too soon. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, you're right, sir. I don't, because I think Galileo still is actually going to come through for shareholders. It's just sometimes these transitions are painful, and they take, 4 6 quarters, 8 quarters, and nobody likes it, and you paid a lot and you want it now, but that's just not always how it works, guys. um if you're talking to me, I intend to keep ranting. What else am I doing here, guys? Bringing, helping the world, God's sakes. Wrong channel. Was hoping to see that Matt Flow guy on here. He said it was a SoFi advisory board. Yes, I recall. I don't. You never know, guys. He seemed legit, but why would he be spending time on my channel? It's a little bit suspect. I don't believe any of you guys are legitimate. FG Jeff B is not human, including the likes of Mark Zuck. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they are, but they're human. They're just it's like everything becomes dollars and cents. Like, Whole Foods, all these things, like some of these companies, they started out, they had sort of this purpose, this sort of healthy deal, and now it's like they've changed. Like, what will they sell? They're going to sell anything that's going to make money. Amazon's going to sell anything that's going to make money. I mean, Amazon, it has questionable practices, and all these people like, Google, they want to do the most good and all bullshit. Like, you guys want to buy 747s and have wild, like they got into that thing with the one guy who got murdered in San Francisco, like the big tech exec. Like these guys are into this hedonism and just all this. They're not out there trying to do good things. Like, how does it help the world to spend like $500 million on a yacht when you could improve the lot of you know hundreds of thousands of people who are poor or whatever? It's like, just you know don't feed me a line of bullshit about how much good you're gonna do. I saw some, interview with Lauren Sanchez about her. Her and Jeff are donating whatever $50 million or something to the, fire victims in Maui. And I mean, it's a great thing, but like, people want to praise her for the donation. It's like, come on, people. I mean, the guy has hundreds of billions of dollars and like, you know, I don't know. It's just some of this stuff is just so insincere. It just boggles the mind. You're like, your first concern is humanity. Your first concern is just this vanity and self indulgence and trying to get a rocket that's shaped like a penis because some kind of phallic issue. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know why all these rich guys want to do rockets and all this stuff shaped like a wiener. But you can dig into that with your therapist. I don't really care. Yeah, decompress. Just let it go. What's up, bro? Hey, Jabroni. Hey, Wes. What's up, gentlemen? How are you? Uh, what's up, Jabroni? There's one for you, one for Wes, and one for whatever other personality may be invading your space right now. Yeah, I mean, I I can't blame anybody from shorting anything. Like, I mean, SoFi stock was just down in the fours at the lows. I mean, I love the stock. I love the fundamentals. I think the short thesis is bullshit, but it doesn't matter. If everything's being pushed down and money's just fleeing the market to the safety of cash or the safety of bonds and those high yields. I mean, the 10-year treasury just hit 5% for God's sake. I mean, hey, thanks, man. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching, guys. This is like the way you guys are saying decompress, guys. It's been a long weekend. Dude, I want to come home in a good mood to my family unit and, not just have so much like angst. And, you guys know how it is. I mean, I am a long term investor. I'm not investing the rent money per se, but it's still like when your account gets hit hard and you're searching for answers and there really are no answers because there are just much larger forces at play. You're trying to figure out, should I go to cash? Like, god damn it, why didn't I go to cash when the stock was just 840 or 10 or 11, whatever it is? I mean, it's so easy to sort of run these scenarios in your mind, but guys, that's investing. It's like being a good quarterback. You have to just have no memory. You have to have no conscience. You have to, be like Michael Jordan. It doesn't matter if you miss, like, it doesn't matter if that night you're like, 6 for 20 and you made 10 free throws and you have 17 points and you're like 1 for 5 from 3 point. Could be an off night, but he's still going to want to shoot the ball at the end of the game because he's a shooter, because he's a champion. And you guys are champions. I mean, you're turds, but you're champion turds. So that's pretty good. Uh Anyway, so what are they going to attack? It's basically going to be number one, earnings per share. They're going to say lack of progress on earnings per share because it's not going to be that great. That hits the growth story. Um, yeah, I don't really believe that because I believe they're setting everything up for Q4 and they're just front loading all the expenses. Sorry, my chair is squeaking, guys. This is an old chair, and I have my good chair over at my working desk. This is my YouTube desk. Um, Get a little WD-40 from my shed. I got a shed out behind the office. Um, where I keep all of my my computer equipment, my servers. I'm running all this off my own servers, guys. That's what you don't realize. They're all water cooled. I got a swamp cooler out there. I got a couple of teraflops, and pretty soon out in the shed we're gonna be I don't know, we're gonna be making some of them lithium batteries. We got a contract with Elon. Um, what's going on, guys? Anybody? It's just dude face, not a lurker. You guys, volume shooters. I love these guys, but come on, somebody else comment. There's a few of you here. M Russo, what's up, M Russo? Bot again. M Russo really catches the lows quite nicely. You guys might want to take a lesson from M Russo 215. You turds. Learn how to buy at appropriate entry points, for God's sake. M. Russo's actually doing a class down at the Learning Annex for turds who are dumb on how to buy stocks appropriately. I think a lot of you guys should sign up. It's $49.95, and she provides a, or I don't know if M. Russo is a he or she. Sorry, I forgot. But he or she provides a free brand muffin, and at the end of the seminar gives you a free kick right in the nuts, just so you remember the content more better. Um, Manager's back. Hey, manager. What's going on? Hi, Hurricane. SoFi is coming down. I don't see it going to four. Um, I don't see it going to four, but where do I see it going? It's just manager. I'm still like this is my bit right here, brother. I assume you're a man. I don't know why. Not management can be women, but I assume everybody's a man because I'm just, I don't know what that says about me. Some people might say it's some kind of latent thing, but I don't think so. It's just the bias, the institutional bias. I'm not going to ask all of you for your pronouns. I don't want your fucking pronouns. Fuck you guys. Not you, manager. Thanks, welcome. You seem to be a very important person. People really look up to you. I don't, let's look at things. Let's look at things. Do I see four? I mean, God, how bad are things gonna get? How bloody is this? Is four, guys? I mean, this is four. All time lows. God, there's a lot of points. I think I don't see fours, guys. I just don't see it. Maybe I mean we're staring down the barrel of sixes right here. I mean, this is do or die, guys. I mean, with this channel is either some bullshit dotted line I drew in, fuchsia on the chart, which means absolutely nothing because I am a big fat asshole, or it's solid, rock solid, like the Rock of Gibraltar, or at least the cubic zirconia you unknowingly gave your fiance for that wedding ring because you took too many losses on penny and growth stocks and you could not even afford one of those lab grown diamonds because you're just a pathetic piece of shit. But we still love you here on Un Poco Mas. You always have a home here. It's like that movie Dodgeball, all the freaks and geeks, like, you're welcome on my channel because, I'm a bit of a freak and a bit of a geek myself. So, well, you've been rejected from all those fancy channels where the people have fancy degrees and guests and they talk about cryptocurrencies and the next big thing is like, well, I was looking for something that stored value, but I didn't want money and I didn't want objects. I thought about art, um, but that made way, way too much sense because that's an actual store of value. And then I heard about Dogecoin, and it was like, and my cat told me to buy Dogecoin, so I put all of my company's money into it. Now we're completely bankrupt. I'm living on the street. I'm doing, just a ton of hallucinogens. Things are really looking up. Like it's like, don't you learn anything from these crypto things? Like, dude, I mean, I don't always think, I think like, like say Bitcoin, I've talked about this before, but there are some use cases where some crypto can actually, provide some utility. But if it doesn't provide any utility and it's just based on like an anime picture or a cartoon, you probably shouldn't put your life savings into it. And like, guys, money is not just a store of value. Money is a social contract. Um, this is who we are. Like from the stagecoaches of Wells Fargo, um, to financing, the fight against the Nazis during World War II. These were dollars, and we're really sort of, I think, pissing away the legacy and hard work that the greatest generation and other Americans have done before us, because we're just too lazy and soft and dysfunctional to actually solve problems, actually show any fiscal restraint or responsibility. We just want, instant gratification, like free money at 0% endlessly and just printing. It's just, none of this is sustainable, guys. I mean, SoFi's caught in the trap, and this was all kind of going back to like systemically, is SoFi going to break down? I tend to think not, manager. Um, because I think the ER is gonna show the growth story is intact, and it's going to set them up for that profit in Q4. The high interest rates were good to the banks, and it's hard to have it both ways. I mean, the shorts will have it both ways and eight ways to Sunday, but they're saying, you know, unless there's high defaults, if the net interest income is going to be even higher. I mean, there's going to be more loans on the balance sheet, so you're looking at a couple of key things, is like, are there going to be higher defaults? um I don't think it's going to be that bad. I think it's going to be less than what SoFi planned for. So why is the stock going to go to 4? I mean, that's way below book value, manager. What's the thesis? Tell me what you're thinking. Explain it to me. um Let me explain something to you. Okay? Okay. I got the leopard interior. I know you don't like it. Okay, but still, let me take you for a ride. How is this even a Cuban accent? Like, this bronzer I'm wearing, the makeup department that gave me the bronzer, it don't look real. And who believes I'm gonna kill anybody anyway? This fake scar, the droopy eye, nobody, I don't know how people believe this movie. They make it a religion. You know what I mean, Manny? He's like, oh, you're such a shitty actor. He's like, ah, what's that? That's not your line. Shut the fuck up. Oh, I got the money and the power. You're just tall and handsome. So I'm gonna shoot you at the end when you fuck my sister. But guys, I don't know what I'm going on with Scarface. Uh, Manager, what are you doing shorting everything? This isn't a short channel. We're cockeyed optimists here. I mean, yeah, I don't usually short things, but I kind of do. I kind of do when I have to. Like if it's like was like Lucid way up there, Hylian way up there, just stupid shit. But yeah, I mean, Nvidia, those chips. I mean, like Neo's making chips, Tesla's going to be making chips. I don't think just making these AI chips and self-driving chips. I think the Chinese, they can leapfrog this. Like, I don't know, guys. I think Nvidia's overvalued. I agree with that. But it's pretty easy to say Tesla's overvalued. It's pretty easy to say a lot of these mega cap stocks. I mean, Apple. I don't think the iPhone is going to be the cash cow forever, and I just don't see Apple innovating really all that much. That's my opinion. Microsoft, Google, I think are both quite solid. At least, I think Facebook is trying to prepare for the future. They're kind of swinging in the dark a little bit, but they'll I think they'll find their footing. Yeah, it's really hard to say, guys, what some of these companies are worth, because, but for the short term, yeah, I mean, short Nvidia, it's going to be a winner. I mean, it's hard to say exactly where, but it's definitely been pulling back, and I think it's definitely got more to go. So, who am I to question the wisdom of manager? I mean, I'm an assistant junior grill associate and I work at Strickland Propane, and it's not a glamorous job, guys. But I do keep people safe, and it is a clean burning fuel. So if you want to taste the meat, not the heat, I highly recommend you get rid of your charcoal grill and you go with a clean burning fuel, such as propane. And I also sell propane and propane accessories. Um, Anyway, guys, I don't know where I'm going with any of this. This whole broadcast is just a debacle. It's just a debacle. Let me check who. Let me check if anybody important's here. I really don't care what you guys are doing. U.S. Navy warship. Boy, that system worked well, guys. Our ship there, they launched some bullshit missiles from, I guess, Somalia toward Israel up the coast of the Red Sea there, I guess. And, the Navy has these interceptor ships that they've deployed in the area, and they de- killed all the missiles and three drones, I guess. That was the release I saw from the Defense Department earlier. So, you know, I wouldn't, a lot of people think the old US has seen its bed, but I believe in us, guys. I believe in America. I certainly, for all of our faults, I think we can be I think we can aid stability and even hopefully peace in this world. I think we're certainly a lot more altruistic actors than, some like Putin or China, I think the US, certainly manipulates situations and certainly is up to all kinds of shenanigans over history, but if you had somebody, occupying your country, honestly, would you rather have, some totalitarian psychotic dictators raping and pillaging like the, Russians do, or at least countries to me like, Canada, Britain, America. Now I know about imperialism and all this stuff, but it's like, you know, I think what the forces we're bringing to bear, but we need a ceasefire there. There's not going to be. It's really not going to accomplish anything to push everyone south into the south two-thirds of Gaza out of Gaza City and just level it. I mean, I don't know what that. I guess it destroys the terror networks, and they can destroy the tunnels, and they can, destroy all the stockpiles. I don't know. And then other people are saying Israel's going to, you know, halt, not go in with a full ground invasion. That they just, they're not prepared to do that, and they don't really feel it would be the best course of action. So I'm hearing all kinds of different things. If anybody has any, like, I realize this isn't like a, geopolitics Israel show, but I'm just trying to think, can if the international community can prevent this thing from spreading. We have serious overtures from Putin wanting to make peace. I mean, this thing, I think he obviously completely miscalculated what was going to happen, but not only that, the people in Russia who wield power, economic power behind the scenes, they're not going to just watch the entire thing evaporate and let the grift and, let sort of the privileged position they've built up for themselves over the last 30, 40 years. They're not just going to let that evaporate over 2, 3 years for some intangible defense goals that, I mean, everyone in Russia knows that Ukraine was not about to attack Russia. I mean, it's like, yeah, maybe in the Crimea region there was still fighting, but representing an actual the Russians have created a threat to their homeland. They've created a situation where Scandinavia is lined up against them and coming into NATO. They've created this situation themselves, and it's a complete fucking disaster. And the sooner they can get out from under it, and then the other one is where do the Chinese really benefit by attacking Taiwan? I mean, everybody's saying that's imminent. That these, but I think geopolitics, it's bad, but I think it could actually be on the uptick. I think one of the clear takeaways is that starting an actual shooting war, and like the Russian strategy has, whether it was like Chechnya or Afghanistan, they just bring a hammer if they need a scalpel. Like they just level everything. They just destroy every building. And there's this story like in Chechnya where they put up a Russian flag just amongst the city that's just nothing but rubble. There's no infra, so they're not gaining anything, and then they abandon it immediately because they don't have really the economic or the manpower to hold the, and why do you want it? What do you really benefit other than maybe natural resources from, occupying a very poor area? Like, it just, a lot of this stuff makes no sense, guys. It's not very well thought through, and I don't think war really benefits any of these authoritarians and dictators. It punctures their narrative. It's like, so if the world can line up behind peace in a real way, I don't think SoFi stock is necessarily going to get into that absolute death spiral recession. Now, yes, I wanted the stock to hold 813, but if you look at a day like today, again, um, net 1.7 million shares borrowed out of only 27 million shares churned. I mean, that I would have to do some math, but that would account for, I would say, almost all of the drop in the price today. Anyone, I don't think anyone, whether it's company insiders, maybe that CTO asshole. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe the guy's a great guy. I don't know. But I just don't like that he always dumps shares. But hell, I mean, man, if I had a family and I had all my assets in SoFi stock and I'm like a young guy, and this was my first job where I got a bunch of stock options, dude, of course you're going to dump and diversify. You don't care what some fat asshole on YouTube says about it. You have a family and a future to look after. So, just much the same way I don't think you guys should listen to me and think for yourselves and do your own research, and not even me. You're way too smart for that, but don't listen to any fat assholes on you. Don't even listen to the thin people on YouTube. Don't even listen to the thin, attractive people. They distract you with the glitz and the glamour. At least I bring you the raw, unvarnished truth. This is what it looks like after 30 years of sleepless nights worrying about stocks and penny stocks and, day trading and endless stupid option strategies. This is what's in store for you people. God damn. Guys, I completely forgot what I was talking about. No, manager won't go to 4. Jesus. What are you trying to bait me? You trying to clickbait me? You doxing me? Yeah, I don't even know what these words mean, but I think it's something like, I think he's just trolling me. But no, do you really think the stock's going to go to 4? Why? I mean, I don't know. I guess if the economy completely falls apart and more wars break out and oil goes to 150 and gas is at 9, and people aren't going to be saving shit and people are going to be defaulting. Maybe that's what he's talking about. Maybe finally somebody brings a sober reality, Debbie Downer, huge Karen perspective. Maybe that's what we need here, guys. I don't know. Let me go to you guys because there's more wisdom in you guys than, well, not really. I want to finish that sentence. Nerds. Air Force nerds. I smell nerds. I don't have like a giant mug or the horns, but I could give you one of these, like nerds. I don't really think I look that much like ogre, but who am I to argue with a member of the esteemed armed forces? Uh, yeah, $6 I'd definitely buy. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you wait for 4. I guess if you're disciplined enough, you got to do what you got to do. If you think it's going to go to 4, wait for 4. I mean, I think you're waiting on a train that's never going to, never going to show up. Cause I'm waiting on the phone, waiting for you to call me up, could call me up and tell me I'm not alone. Cause oh God, Grave Dancers Union, what a record. Soul Asylum. God, I miss good music. Oh, this fucking garbage today. Yeah, I want to hear another Latin mumbling rap be like, "Fumba, fumba." I don't even know what the fuck this music is anymore. Like K Rock is playing this Latin mumble rap. I mean, I don't listen to the radio that much because, of course, you have Spotify and all this stuff. But in my car, I have old used cars. I drive around and, my little Honda, my little mule, and I listen to the FM radio because it's like, I'm 5 minutes from work. It's, I flip it on. I'm like, I don't even know what this stuff is. Is this some guy mumbling in Spanish over this like house music beat? And that's rock music now? What the fuck are we doing here, people? What are we even fighting for? Is that if that's rock and roll? I don't know what happened. Did America jump the shark when I wasn't looking? Did Henry Winkler decree that rock was dead and it was all going to be this sort of homogenized Latin mumbling, and I don't know what else. Like sometimes there's like women screaming and I don't know, they're angry at their boyfriend. All kinds of things happening in music. I don't really get it. Um Whatever happened to good old electric guitar, a little bass guitar, a little drum set? You know, a bunch of dudes who are on drugs with long hair, not taking showers, banging a bunch of nasty skanks outside of a, Days Inn in Milwaukee, their trailer. They don't want to pay for a room. They gotta empty the tank, gotta empty their black tank, because Skeeter got diarrhea. That's rock and roll. Let's see, who's here? Well, should we start getting strength? Yes, Chia Pet, I got suckered. Yeah, he'll do it. He'll do it every time. Yeah, yeah, you need to use. I understand, manager. You're just trying to cover a position. Um, yeah, Credit Savage. Who the hell's Credit Savage? Well, on 6, we have to get there before 4. Yeah, I mean, who are all these people? You guys know everybody. I don't know anybody. Well, ladies' music, fighting for a right to party. Absolutely, man. Somebody's got to fight for it. Yikes. Have not listened to radio the past 15 years. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Nobody. I'm the only one who does. Like, I still, like I said, I still have old cars. Um, Closing, Mr. Noto. Yeah, I want to see. God, I would like to see some real insider buying, some real institutional buying, guys. Like, it's just been hovering around this like mid 30s institutional ownership level, and it's just makes the stock just a prime target for this wild volatility manipulation, algorithmic profit earning, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, Uncle Bruce. Hey, Uncle Brucey, it's Uncle Brucey. The Ratchet Stacks bust off blacks. Check out Brucey on Hot 107, Uncle 7, Wacky Morning Show. Everybody. Um, exactly what I've been saying. Yeah, I don't know, guys. There's so many turds out there. I don't know if they're on YouTube, they're U-turders, they're day turders. Maybe they're one of these guys. It's like, watch me live, make $180,000 in one day, and then like the video never shows that. Like, no, you didn't have that. You didn't like. And there's like, you just watch some, weird pale asshole with like a red ginger beard day trade for like 2 hours, and it's just all these graphs. Like, you can't tell that he made anything, much less $180,000. You're just like, did I just watch this shit? Like, what's wrong with me that I'm falling for this, you know, this gnome looking motherfucker's clickbait? It's like, does anybody who look like that make 200 grand a day? No. Um, okay. Yeah, we need institutional buying. Yeah, we need the two things I'm hoping coincide: institutional ownership and net profit. But um, yeah, so pension fund. Yeah, I saw a few pension funds. Heirloom Cedar. What's going on? Officially one more trading week. Yeah, me too. Me too. I mean, I'm not gonna sell. I'm buying here. I mean, I'm not. I was just buying at 720. Maybe I'll buy some more at 650. Who knows? We'll see. I hope not, but we'll have to see what happens. Yeah, yeah. Berkshire would be very nice if Berkshire bought some shares. Yes, they don't. Berkshire doesn't buy companies that don't make a lot of free cash flow. So this would have to be one. I mean, they bought BYD when it was still losing a lot of money. They have a good eye for future free cash flows, and they're very very disciplined. So if the mung bean and the floor buffer and the mung bean bought this thing, you would see a definite boost to the stock, and a lot of other institutions and pensions and copycats and turds and 99-year-old prodigies would follow suit, I would have to assume. But God, my Red X looks awfully lonely up here. Looks like completely impossible that we'd make that run. Um, you know, I'm just gonna do something stupid because it's me, guys. It's me. So if you didn't want stupid, um, you should have gone to somewhere else. But yeah, let's say if we just no, that won't work. That won't work, guys. Sorry. Um, I need my doodle. I need my doodle. Uh, okay, so okay, guys, sorry, I apologize. I don't know how to work the charts. I really hate these Yahoo charts, but some of the others are just too complicated to use. So if we take a doodler and we just doodle this thing like from here to like right around the bottom, like there. Okay. And then so that move was, like I said, from Yeah, I don't know. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's 13 trading days. So we only have 5 trading days, guys. So that's obviously not going to happen. But I'm just curious. Yeah, I mean, this type of a move that the stock has made before would put me in the neighborhood I want to be in. But, this is just, hallucinogenic, idiotic thinking. I'm just saying the stock is definitely capable of this kind of move, but that's not in this macro, guys. Not in this macro. Not crazy. Not crazy. I'm going to rein it in. Guys, so I'm going to get the hell out of this live stream. It's accomplished absolutely nothing. It's just kind of allowed me to kind of wind down from the hellish week that was. But yeah, I know, guys, everything's bearish. Yeah, everything's bearish. Everything is just doom and gloom. But I mean, again, it hasn't gone down to the even the low, it hasn't broken down below this channel. So just because it's down, I mean, it was just down here 2 more times, guys. So nothing happened. The world didn't end. It just went back up into the channel. So the world's not ending now. I know the headlines and everybody, makes it seem like it is, but it's not. Um, Things will go on, and if it's some like events happen where none of this dollars matter and none of this economy, and where it's some kind of full scale war with the Chinese, you're not going to worry about your stocks. You're going to have much bigger fish to fry. But I did say doodle. I did. Beach Boy. Yeah, Beach Boy must be sleeping. Wake him up. Measured move. Yeah, it's a bunch of bullshit that I'm drawing. But Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, manager. Who wants weekends? It's God. It's ridiculous. Same here. Winding down. Thanks for the stream. Feel like you're shooting any deals. I'll send you a bill. Yeah, thanks, Chris. I don't know. My shrink's got a job to do. It's an impossible Herculean task. So, not financial advice, but buy SoFi. Indeed, M. Russo. I'm not giving you advice, but M. Russo 215, who is eminently qualified and is a financial advisor and is also fully immune to lawsuits due to diplomatic immunity. She works for that German guy who was running the drugs in the original Lethal Weapon. It's like, so he or she can give any advice they want without repercussions. Because if you go to sue and you lost money, you're like, you gave me financial advice to buy the SoFi stock. M. Russo will simply say, diplomatic community. That was not a good impression of that fat, weird German guy or South African guy. I think they were South African. Um, anyway, my memory is obviously gone completely to shit, much like this live stream itself, completely off the rails. But guys, that's the SoFi stock. The ticker symbol, of course, is SOFI. Let's get one more check of the after hours action. See what the SoFi stock is doing. Oh, great, we're down. We're down 0.0 cents to 0.03%. So we're at 737. That 737 is coming out of the sky. Won't you take me down to Memphis on that midnight ride? I want to move. Oh yeah, playing with the traveling band. Let's see, guys. Am I worried? Upnurse review. Is it worried about SoFi? I'm not worried about it. Might go way down. It would really suck, but I'm not going to worry about it. I want to stay young. I want to keep. Don't want worry lines, guys. Um, all right, guys. Everybody's run out of steam, including myself. So I appreciate you guys watching. It's Un Poco Mas. My name's Danny Deals. Um, I will try to come back at you probably Tuesday. I'm going to take a few days off of the turd cam, or maybe do some penny stock videos, because I always find penny stock videos fun because they're just, so stupid. And you're like, who would own this crap? Oh, Danny Deals. Of course. He's a big idiot. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys have a great Friday night. Keep it safe out there. Remember, don't drink and drive. Don't do too many drugs. They're very expensive. Put that money into SoFi. Have yourself a great weekend. Remember, don't worry too much about your stocks over the weekend. Worry about stuff that matters, your family, friends, social engagements. Catch a good live show. Do something useful. But your stocks will be here, and you can worry about them again on Monday, and we will worry together. Thanks for watching Un Poco Moss Turds. You guys have a great weekend. I'll talk to you soon. It's Danny Deals for Stock Karen and Hurricane Lopez, or whatever.